from a game designer's perspective, you can never be too busy to play games. So we play quite a lot. We make quite a lot of effort to make time to play. And usually there'll be a time where a problem is too difficult to really get your head around for a moment in a day, and you think you need a break to just think about how you might approach it. And often playing a game that has some similarities to what you're dealing with, even if it does it badly, is a good way of kind of winding down and winding around the problem. But then on top of that, doing something completely different is good for the mind and helps you kind of understand just design as a whole. So recently we've been both throwing 30 plus hours a week into Pillars of Eternity. I think that's probably an honest kind of number, isn't it?
Yeah,
not far off. And we've been doing a lot of recently, and I think that's good for any team who's working on the same game, is playing the same games. Because even if the game is completely unrelated to the video game you're making at the time, having design conversations about other people's choices on an RPG or on a physics simulation or whatever else, it's a good way of kind of getting that critical analysis kind of talk going, because eventually then what happens is you get bored of talking about the game you're playing, and then you go, alright, well, what do you think about how we're doing this in off-grid, or what, how do those problems apply to what we're doing? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think even if the game is not in the same genre as what you're making, there's always going to be some connection or some things that might be relevant. Even if it's just a user interface or some small thing. And I don't think you could really design games without playing games. Yeah, as much as possible.
I think you get two types of designer. I think you get the people who especially in large companies, feel like they're under too much pressure to take time out to play games because it's not allowed for within their working structure, and then they come home and they've got families or whatever else. Whereas because we are essentially a two-man company with a few other friends dipping in and out, it's kind of down to us how we balance our time, and we find it's more valuable for the rest of the creative process to make sure that time is programmed in. So that's what we do.